आटोक्याचं दिवसचं झालं, हँडलच लावायचं आहे. इथलं ते पडलं. आता फक्त राहिलं आपलं टीव्हीचं. हे कापणे द्यामध्ये तुम्हाला.
So we are going to start. My topic of today's session is history, needs and trends of electrical vehicles. So myself, Dr. Gagandeep Kaur, I am Associate Professor in the Department of Electrical and Instrumentation Engineering. I've been working on electrical vehicles along with my Team Urja, which is a students team at Thapar Institute. And we have designed certain electrical vehicles and we have participated in certain competitions and we won certain design aspects of electrical vehicles. So that is my backbone of today's talk, my Team Urja. So my research in this area started when we just thought about that we have to think about some of the renewable energy sources which could support vehicles so that we can come up with the good solutions to petroleum. We are dependent for petroleum on the Arabia and all those countries, and it is very costly, and it is presently the cost of all these fuels is rising, and they are not renewable. They will be vanished at some point of time. So I just thought of lending myself into this area. We have certain papers in the field of renewable energy. Basically, I have done my artificial PhD in artificial intelligence, so I'm able to apply some of the intelligent techniques on different controller designs for machines and vehicles, etc. Right. So today, my talk on history, needs, and trends of electrical vehicles is going to start. I really appreciate if we'll have a dialogue, so that is the discussions amongst ourselves, because dialogue is very important when we are talking about the technology. So always the sharing of knowledge improves, you have a basic content of improvement in us, whatever we are teaching or whatever we are trying to learn.
Hello.
Yes, so you have to spot a car in this figure, and whosoever will be first in spotting a car can raise a hand or speak up. It's a game. It's a game. See, this image is very old image of some foreign country. Can anybody locate a car? Yes.
Yes, it is at the pole, madam. In front of pole, that light pole that we can able to see.
It is near the pole, ma'am.
Yes.
Where it is?
It is near the pole.
Mandir, can you locate it?
Yes, ma'am.
Speak
It
up.
is
I have
ahead of
unmuted
pole.
you.
It is ahead of pole, ma'am. It is hiding behind the pole.
Yes, it is here. Everyone, please look at the screen. There is a car, only one car, but there are so many carts along with horses. There are many people who are walking down the lane. It's a busy road. It's a busy road, right? Now, second part of the game. Yes, I hope everyone has seen that car which is there amongst many of the cars. There is a car. After 13 years, that is after 100 years of this figure, we are going to look at another. Now locate a cart. Can you? Anyone? Can you locate a cart?
Yes, madam.
Can you locate a cart?
Yes.
Yes, it is there.
Yes.
It is
It is
in a
beside
red
the pole.
circle. So we are witnessing a great big change after every 100 years. There was a road which was full of carts, horses, etc., which were driving the vehicles or which were used to carry the load. Even sometimes some human were used to carry the load. But in this, we improved and we came up with different solutions. We had 4 wheels and we could develop a simple engine which could give you a better option than any animal or human fetching the cart. We have cars. So there are many cars on the road. Of course, by the sides, people are walking down. Walk is always good for health, as we know. So every 100 years, we are looking for a change. Just like this pandemic, when it was started, it was said at every home that every 100 years some kind of this thing happens, and we are witnessing it. So sometimes we are fortunate, sometimes we are unfortunate in witnessing certain changes. So sitting at cusp of disruption, we are sitting at a cusp of disruption where we are witnessing these kind of changes, right? So one is this pandemic which we are witnessing, and one is this change which will happen in the form of electrical vehicles. It will totally replace all other kind of vehicles within a due span of time, and will be fortunate to witness this particular change. So history repeats itself. Here also we'll be able to inculcate some of the new flowers from the plant of vehicles. So before going into the technical aspect of this, I would like to talk about the electrical vehicles. What happens? We were students when the mobile phone came into the system, and hope many of us must be in our engineering or just begun our career in the profession of as an academician or an industry people. It was mobile which just came into the system. But before mobile, there was landline. There were landline cables which were installed home to home to the telephone exchange. They were there, and we were connected to person in the another city or country through the telecom exchanges. They were used to make connections for us, and we were connected with them. At that time, we were used to talk about that one day will come, we'll be able to see the face of a person also, not only the voice. But this change was so quick. We have witnessed this change. For small duration of time, it was pager which came into the system. For a few months it was there, and immediately the mobile market took over. Same thing we are expecting in the field of electrical vehicles. They will take up the entire market, the batteries, etc., in the field of vehicles. When we are talking about, we will be switching to electrical vehicles very quickly. We'll be unable to mark the difference between the times when we were using the diesel or petrol engines, and now we are on electrical vehicles. So I'll be coming to the next slide. You can see US dollar 206 billion market opportunity is there by 2030. So this is the prediction by intelligent methods and by the people who are the masterminds of this particular area, who are really working in this area. Ola starts work on world's largest electric two-wheeler factory in Tamil Nadu. Ola has already started. Why Ola? Because the future is going to be a shared kind of vehicle sharing kind of environment which will be there. Our new generation is very happy to hire Ola and Uber kind of vehicles. So they are landing up in this particular field. So trend spotting with electrical vehicles in focus. Lithium ion battery sector could get turbocharged. we are expecting that CAGR, that is compound annual growth rate, will be of 57.9% by 2022 2025. So soon we'll be expecting a great change in the economy, great change in the utilization of lithium ion battery, great change in the great utilization, not change, in the electrical vehicles. We'll be witnessing the movement of electrical vehicles on the roads very soon, on the highways, etc. Then lithium ion battery market charger, CAGR expected value by 2026 is $11.1 billion. It's not a matter of few crores or lakhs. It is a billion game in which everyone will be investing, and we can have a benefit of that investment in terms of research, by doing research in the field of batteries or vehicles. Right, around 50% of the new three-wheelers sold in India will be electrified by 2024, according to the government authorities. They have to be. You, as in the morning session, Dr. Manna said, after 11 years of utilization of one vehicle, you are not allowed to bring that vehicle into the city of Delhi. Similar things will be happening in each and every state. We won't be allowed to use diesel and petrol engines because of this kind of utilization of electrical vehicles on the roads. There is a big logistic effect of this. See, these days we are very much concerned about taking up things from Amazon, Flipkart, etc. Why? Because all these things are related to the logistics, and logistics is related to the utilization of petroleum in the vehicles, and every cost is driven by cost of all the products is driven by the petrol, directly or indirectly. So the companies like Amazon, Myntra, Flipkart, and all the companies from where we shop, they just want that maintenance and running costs should be less, product costs should be less. They are going to, and we are also going to focus upon the logistics. They are backed by strong logistic market growth in India and worldwide, right? So just telling you the importance of this, or already you have registered in this area, you know the importance of the work which we need to do in this particular area. Excuse me. A chaotic disruption. Niti Aayog, which is a statutory body for designing the policy of remove this. Slide. Sorry for the So there are so many KPMG, vendors, CEEW. These are the councils which are actually trying to standardize the design and development of electrical vehicles, either two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, even in the high heavy vehicles. The electrification is main important thing, or the target where we want that things should be electrified. In our university also, we are trying to electrify a Jeep, which is a heavy vehicle. So these kind of research are the beginning to this particular area which we are talking about. So electric EV 2-watt and 3-watt to be about 6 million vehicles by 2025. 9% penetration is already happening, and we are expecting that it will be a good amount of vehicles which will be looking on the road by 2025. Sale of 102 million electrical vehicle units till financial year 2030. Expected revenue addition till financial year 30 is equivalent of 10% of India's GDP. We are through electrical vehicles, we are going to contribute to the GDP of our country, as well as to the development of the entire world. US dollar 2.3 trillion we are expecting. $2.4 billion opportunity on battery packs, energy storage systems and requirements is there. Why I'm talking about all this? So that we should be motivated to work in any of the field of electrical vehicles. Either it is electrical vehicles, these are chargers, or battery packs or storage systems. So again, I'm just going to talk about why the electrical vehicles. So there are so many real-time newspaper clippings I'm showing you. Global warming is one of the major cause. We need to think about alternatives to the pollution creating things, and the major thing is vehicles. And we can do it if we are done with the electrical vehicles. I'll show you the data in which the electricity which is generated from petroleum, coal or so, and as compared to the electricity which is generated from solar energy, and then it is charging the vehicles, and then we are making use of those vehicles. The contribution of the entire process, the generation of electricity to the vehicle on the road, level of pollution is so much less. The climate threat, which is shown by the global warming disasters, earth is becoming hotter year by year. There are a great degree of temperature change which is happening, which we are witnessing also. The Arctic Ocean is also getting warm. There are so many kind of marine animals, fishes, etc., which have already gone out of this planet, which are no more existing, right? There are so many icebergs which are melt. There will be no space left for more disaster to happen. We need to think about that beforehand. The world is getting warmer. Since 1900, sea levels have risen by an average about 19 centimeter globally. It is not India, it is the entire world which is getting affected from the global warming. Limiting the damage, we have to limit the damage. Of course, we can try to limit the damage, we can try to control. There is a problem which is being created, but now we need to contribute to think about, to bring about the solutions which can solve this problem. According to the UN report, submission in their current form point to a raise of 2.7 degrees C above pre-industrial levels by 2100. Scientists have determined that if temperature rises surpasses 2 degrees C, this will lead to substantial and dangerous climate impacts, will hit the entire world, and it will land up in a poor situation. Average warming per degree C projected by 2100, 4.5 degree if countries do not act, 2.5 degrees if we are following the current policies made, and 2.7 degrees as per the recently submitted national climate plans on curbing the emissions. All these efforts are being done at the at worldwide level. Every government is putting a lot of efforts and making policies to make this possible to control the climatic changes. And one of the major contribution will be the use of these kind of pollution free vehicles. And you know, we have to be careful about it. So from this chart, you can see electricity and heat production is 25%, which is contributing to the global greenhouse gas emission by economic sector, shown on this particular screen. Transportation is 14%, building is 6%, agriculture, forestry, and other land uses are 24%, industry is 21%, other energy 100%. So fifth implemental panel on climate is decided some of the rules and regulations for the whole world to follow, so that collectively we can fight with this particular thing. Now, why the electric vehicles for India we are thinking about. Generalized, in a generalized way, I have already told you that because of the climatic effect, because of the dying sources, fuel sources, and because of the demand of the market, shared vehicles requirement, logistic requirement, we need to focus upon the electrical vehicles. So national wise, the pollution level is New Zealand is on a 5th level, and Sweden is at 6, Australia is 6. Nations with the highest air pollution, Saudi Arabia is 108, India is at 62, Nepal is at 64, Kuwait is at 75. That means everyone is contributing to the pollution, and everyone needs to contribute to control this level, because ultimately it is going to affect the entire world. So world's most polluted countries, you can see, though we are number 64 or 66, but Gurugram, Ghaziabad, Faisalabad, these are the countries of India and Pakistan which are contributing more to this thing called pollution. So 104.8 in Agra. So it is affecting the human health as well. So the air quality index is just I've shown on this table. 0 to 50 is good for human health, and it is it does not require any precautions. 51 to 100, if it is moderately going to affect. 101 to 150, unhealthy for sensitive groups. Those who are having some respiratory problems, they'll be badly affected. It is already showing you an effect, a number of Heart diseases are increasing day by day because of the pollution levels. We are inhaling the unwanted gases. They are coming through the industry or through the polluted environment through the vehicles, etc. 301 to 500 is a hazardous. It can immediately cause damage to a person. It can affect the respiratory system of a person, right? So air pollution in India, this is the data analysis which I'm discussing and showing to you. Agriculture is the here you can see agriculture is least contributing to the pollution because it is green, domestic, either through the utilization of vehicles or other things. We are contributing. Industry is contributing 14%. Transport is contributing majorly 51%, because transportation is very important part of any country's growth. So it is contributing more in development also, and in this pollution also. So reducing emission from transportation, what can we do? We can become electric. So that is the first and foremost answer, that how can we control this? How can we judge this? This will be done by making all the things electrical, right? So improving fuel efficiency with advanced designs, materials, technologies, lithium, cobalt. Every day, every research lab is trying to work on different materials so that they can be developed more for better efficiency and other things. India now overshadowing China in certain way, as I've shown you in this particular graph. So this is the basic ground which I'm making for you to understand the importance of the research and real-time projects which we can carry out at our ends, and we can contribute to our entire world's this particular demand and requirement of electrical vehicles, right? Temperature rise due to greenhouse gases. This is the graph which I have already discussed. It is affecting 29% of the lungs. 24% strokes, heart strokes are coming. 25%, sorry, brain strokes are coming. 25% of the heart diseases are happening because of the pollution, and then lungs diseases are because of 43% more in case of this pollution, which is being created by most you know thing is transportation, as I've shown you in the analysis. So carbon dioxide and expected temperature rises. This graph is showing you. It is showing a symmetrical rise of 2 degrees C, but it can be 11 degrees C if we'll not think about, or if we'll not follow the policies, or if we will not do the research in the concerned field, or will not come up with the solutions to this particular thing. Yes, already we are with the solution of electrical vehicles to this particular problem, but what does temperature rise mean to India? We need to think about this. More floods. Okay. Expected rise in temperature to 4.4 degree will cause more floods, more heat waves by 2100, if we will not think about this technological advancement. Now we are dependent upon petroleum producing countries. If we will not work in this area, we'll have to look for the batteries and charges to other countries like China or so. Then again we'll become driven by the requirement of these countries. So we need to think about the development of batteries, chargers, and other electrical vehicle parts in an indigenized way. Our government is really appreciating the research works which we are doing here. So if the Himalayan glacier melts, what will happen? There will be no place for us to meditate. So people will have to come back from the Himalayas to do meditation and all, right? So we need to think about this particular thing, which is going to directly and indirectly affect the human life. Or bhi kuch effect hota hai? Yes, it is going to affect crude oil expenses. Just now I told you that our every price is controlled by the logistic, and logistics require petrol to feed them, or to move from one place to another. So all the prices are concerned with this particular fuel. Mineral fuel oil distillation products, iski value kya hai? US dollar 153 billion. So we are investing this big amount to procure crude oil from other countries. So India's crude oil imports has increased significantly over past years. 53 times more it is than 1981. Oil imports constitute 32% of the total imports and staggering bills of $153 billion. This is worrying due to rising fiscal deficit in Indian economy. Crude oil prices movement impacts around 0.5% of total deficit in past few years. This is all real-time data from the authenticated records. Electrical vehicles have capability to make India self-reliant. Reason behind government pushing for it, even if we are installing solar panels at our home rooftops, the government is providing subsidy. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is giving a lot of opportunities and options to take up projects, for designing the things, indulge into the research, so that we can contribute to our country. uh, uh, any other reason for electrical vehicles? Do you think, is there any other reason for electrical vehicles? Future mobility. See, the man is now coming to the technical part of it. This was the complete economical analysis, environmental analysis, and why do we need it. Now if we are talking about the comfort zone, these days the human are trying to make the things totally intelligent by their own. Man has designed completely unmanned vehicles, but we are trying to make it possible on the roads. There is a paradigm shift in the world, from personal mobility to shared mobility, which I am talking about. If you go to the industry, they are talking on these keywords: personal mobility, share mobility. Now what it is? Personal mobility is owning a car and moving by your own vehicle. But shared mobility is just in our country we are witnessing Ola and Uber. What they are doing, shared mobility, they are investing, but how much we are investing? We are just paying for one travel by per kilometer we are paying, and that is called shared mobility. Moreover, whenever we are sitting in a vehicle, we want to utilize that time either for resting purpose or for attending some meetings or doing our own works. The person who are traveling by these kind of vehicles, they can do that. But in the autonomous vehicles, the trend in the future will be people will spend more time in the will save their energy and spend more time and energy in in other tasks rather than handling the traffic. The system will be without driver, it will be completely automatic, and we'll be having a remote control in our hand. We'll be controlling the panel of the vehicle, as shown in this particular figure. You can see the person is sitting and having a remote control. He can control the movement of his vehicle through a remote. He need not to press the clutch, make use of a gear and then steering. He does not need to do that. He just need to sit and relax, or he can just sit and do some work. These vehicles will be totally vibration free. They'll be totally not interfering into the person's privacy and all those, and they will not be requiring the human interference, because they will be totally connected through internet, and through programs will be controlling them. There are very less mechanical devices, the mechanical parts in the system. So these systems, these cars, these vehicles will become more automatic kind of thing, and they will be completely intelligent. They could run by their own. They can even fault detection they can do at their own, right? So controlling ICE engine vehicle through software is very difficult as compared to electrical vehicles. That is why the entire software industry is now working on these kind of projects where we can automate the movement of electrical vehicles as well. So today in this particular session, I'm telling you that not only the designing about the battery and the charges is sufficient, not only the designing of the electrical vehicle is a limit. It is going to move into the different era, different horizon. That is, you can design heavy vehicles which will be electrical. You can design vehicles for all purpose demands, which will be having no IC engine, so less of the mechanical parts will be there. So it will be easy to control the electrical signals through the software programs, and we'll be witnessing it soon. Now, the future mobility is having its concern, and that will make the people more connected. sharing will happen of what? Of vehicles, of technology, of resources, etc. These days, when we are going and sitting in the launch, we just share the internet. We make our mobile phone switch on the that particular launch wherever we are sitting. So earlier it was not possible without the physical connectivity of landline cables and wires. Now just by clicking onto the Wi-Fi button on our mobile, we are just switch on to the possibility of executing all the things from that particular network in which we have entered. For example, I've been to an airport of Dubai and I'm traveling from India and I'm not carrying my connectivity connectivity on mobile. I can switch on the launch airport launch for assessing the Wi-Fi, and then I can talk to my relatives or so, or I can make use of my that particular network for assessing the meetings or the data, etc. Electric. So the signals which are electric, they can be handled. Voltage and current signals, we know how to handle them. We know how to manipulate them. We know how to digitize them. We know how to make them fuzzy. We know how to make them intelligent. And we can, of course, control them with the remote. That is the also flexibility with the design of these kind of things or features in the vehicles. Now, see, this is something I'm showing you. It is referred as software on wheels. Again, just like the other words which I'm talking about, software on wheels. By this particular keyword, you can have a search on the Google for the latest technological research areas where the industry is working. Software on wheels. By software on wheels, we mean how to automize electrical vehicles, EVs. EV has only 18 moving parts, and it is very easy to control 18 moving parts of the electrical vehicle. ICE engine, gas vehicle engine, it is having 2000 plus moving parts: gears, ball, piston, differentials, carburetor, crankshafts, driver shaft, clutch, transmission, etc. There are 2000 plus moving parts which we need to control if we are trying to automize or make the intelligent system out of the presently existing petrol and diesel and gas engines, right? But we need only to control 18 moving parts in case of electrical vehicles. That too are controlled by the voltage and current kind of signals, right? So I think this is something which will hit your mind, and you will start working on electrical vehicles from the software point of view also. So there is a futuristic demand to design or to automize the electrical vehicles by developing few thousand lines of programs. So software engineers are again going to be in demand related to all kind of developments of electrical vehicle charges. Either it is related to the detection of fuel, detection of direction, detection of traffic, movement, speed, etc. of the electric vehicle. Now, does electrical vehicle help in shared mobility? Shared mobility is a very great keyword in the industry these days, in which the entire automobile industry is moving. Low running and maintenance cost it has got. Right? You can make use of a good vehicle just by spending per kilometer. Low running cost due to less fuel cost. So fuel cost of electrical vehicles will be less, so running cost will be less. Low maintenance because of only 18 moving parts. You need not to go to the garage to get your vehicle repaired. It will be in the future, it will be just an update, just like which is coming on your mobile, and your mobile is getting updated. Your electrical vehicle will be updated very quickly just with one update on software, because software can control 18 moving parts of the electrical vehicle. Make them a very suitable option for shared mobility. Shared mobility is going to become very popular in the future, and it is really having a great potential of research to design for the shared mobility vehicles and their algorithms which will help them to derive. A person who is having a huge travel per day, they can make use of these kind of shared mobilities with very low cost. The total cost of ownership TCO evaluator. This is just like the petrol at the petrol pump. You are watching at the screen that this much of petrol is filled in and this much is the bill I have to pay. This is similar kind of thing. So it has got a fixed cost, it has got operational cost, and there's the variable cost. These are the inputs to the TCO model, and if you calculate it, it will come out definitely very, very less than petrol and diesel, right? So TCO, the total cost of ownership, if you calculate, that will come to a very minimal value as compared to the existing vehicles. Now, does this make electrical vehicles affordable? Now, this is a very important point. Will the mediocre person will be able to afford the vehicles? Yes, to some extent, we are watching the movement of three-wheelers on the roads, which are electrical. Now, if we are talking about technicality of this, TCO, total cost of ownership of electrical vehicle, is less than internal combustion engine vehicle, ICE vehicles, 1.6 lakh kilometers per hour. Now 12.50 is the cost, 1.6 is the fuel cost, upfront cost which we are expecting is 12.50, 1.60 is the fuel cost, and only 0.34 is the maintenance cost, because this will be done by just an update most of the times. ICE engine, if 8 lakh is the cost, upfront cost, 6.48 is its fuel cost, then 0.90 and more than that will be its maintenance cost. So the break even increase rapidly if the car is driven more. जितनी ज़्यादा चलाएंगे हम vehicle, electrical vehicle को, उतनी fuel cost कम होती जाएगी. This was the saying once upon a time when people were used to buy diesel vehicles. They were used to say that if you have to drive more going for a diesel vehicle, and that will be good. Now, similar kind of forecast we can see here. If you will drive more, if you are having more utilization of the vehicle at home, you can go in for the electrical vehicles, and they support a very strong case of shared mobility, right? Are electrical vehicles really pollution free? This is a great question, because in my initial slides I was talking about temperature rise due to pollution, and contribution to that temperature rise is through the pollution which is being liberated by the vehicles on road, or vehicles which are used for transportation, right? So let us see what the analysis is saying. Just look at the figure. Can you speak up something? Sorry, I was disconnected. Can you just tell me where we were?
Yes, madam.
Satish is going
Yes,
to tell.
ma'am.
Yes, Mandra.
Yes, ma'am.
Mandar. Sir, unmute kar dijiye. Those who have raised hand. Priyanka, you want to say something? I just want to listen from you that what does this picture, what do you understand from this picture? Anybody? You can type it. कहाँ से? What do you understand from this figure? Satish, I'm not able to hear you.
Maximum use of the energy.
Stop share. Satish, you were saying something?
Madam, the transportation cost to carry the fuel from one place to the another place, that might be reduced if we are going for the electrical vehicles, and definitely this will save them some amount of energy, which contributes to increase the efficiency of the electric vehicles.
Yes, this is what you understood from this diagram. Well-to-wheel efficiency. The terms which I'm using, they are the technical terms which are popularly used by the industry these days. Well-to-wheel efficiency. This is the term. Well means we are fetching the petrol from the well. Wheel means when the car is moving on the road. So this is called well-to-wheel efficiency. All right. So the other things which I was talking about, TCO, these are the terminologies which these days industry is using. So if you want to search for something, you can go in for these keywords. TCO will be very popular thing in future. It will not require large space, shared mobility. This is also a keyword, right? So this just I'm switching onto my slides. I'll be putting these slides on Google for you people. Yes. So this well-to-wheel efficiency is actually showing that when you, my internet connection is not stable. So it is fetching petrol from here or through coal, even if it is doing 33% pollution is happening when it is generated, when the electricity is generated. And when it is transported, 94% of efficiency we are having because of these electrical connectivity system, we are electrical transmission system, which we are having in our country or in the entire world, right? From that particular thing, we are directly having some kind of plant or some kind of station from where the charging can happen. So plug to wheel 76%. So ultimately it is, if we calculate by the all mathematical details, 23% of the pollution we are contributing less. Okay. So if it is happening through refineries, then it is 82%, transmission is 98%, petrol pump se humne petrol dilaya, it is also liberating some of the pollution, total is 13%. So 23% and 13% we are just looking at the, it's better by 10%. So now we are coming to renewable makes best sense with electrical vehicles. So whenever
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry for interrupt. Ma'am, can you repeat the previous slide once again? Can we explain it again, please?
This one?
Yes, ma'am. This one.
See, this is well-to-wheel efficiency. Industry always calculates something from well means from where we have started digging the things for generating the electricity. If it is an electrical vehicle, if it is a petrol vehicle, even then we are starting from well, right? Well is just a word. It's not for always when we are talking about coal, we need to we need to go through the mines. Hana? Coal we'll fetch from mines, petrol we fetch from under earth, we do that. So industry always going for the possibility of the spending expenditure which is going to spend for the designing of something, that how much is
24 ভোল্ট 48 না না এটা 48 ভোল্টটা 24 অ্যাম্পিয়ার।
So these are the calculations which are done by industry expert. We are going to have him with us.
ଏଇଗୁଡାକ ତିଆରି କରି ସାରିଲେଣି
ତାହାର ଏଇ ଭୋଲ୍ଟ ଯୋଉ ନାଇଁ ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଖାଲି ଜଷ୍ଟ ଇଏ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କଣ କହିଲୁ ହିରୋର ଯେମିତି କେତେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର କଣ କେତେ ପଡିଲା ଇଏ ଡିଲରସିପ କୋଉଠି ଆମର କୋଉଠି କହିଲେ ଆମର କୋଉଠି କୋଉଠି ଥିଲା କୋଉଠି ଅଛି ରେ ହନୁମାନ ମନ୍ଦିର ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ବୁଝିଲି ବୁଝିଲି ଖୋଲିଲେ ଯିବା ଆଉ
Okay, Probably you are just interested in knowing how this 23% and 13% is being done. So we have Bhanu in the next session. He'll be talking about the calculations and all those things, right? So then that will be clear to you. So in the electrical vehicles, the total pollution which we are talking about, or the total better efficiency which we are talking about, is better than the vehicles on petrol, right? So am I audible? System chal raha?
So, Madam,
Yes, I can hear you.
yeah, Madam, previous slide, is it efficiency or the pollution?
Yeah, I'll add to that. I can. So I'll keep that in my. I have that. I'll be explaining it in detail. It's basically the efficiency of what
Yes.
we take out and what we get at the
Yes,
end of the cycle.
it seems to be the efficiency of IC
Yeah.
engine and electrical vehicle.
So what basically this comparison tells is, like, we think that EVs are very eco-friendly, but
Yes,
at the end of the day,
yes, 23.
yeah, at the end of the day, we are getting the fuel from coal. So we are just comparing, okay, like if we are even burning coal, then also EVs are efficient. Like it is still 10% more than IC engine. So yeah, so that's what this comparison is about. I'll be covering this in detail in my next
In the upcoming session at 3 o'clock, Bhanu will be sharing the technical details. I'm just telling you the difference here, that even if the electrical vehicle is fed from either sun or the present sources of energy like petroleum or coal, it 10% iski efficiency mein hamare paas farak aa raha hai, fir bhi, right? So if we'll be running it on solar energy, the cost will be reduced, pollution levels will be reduced. Can I move, sir? Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes,
Yeah, sure.
yes,
Please.
madam.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thank
madam.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much
So
for
whatever we
explanation.
are showing you on these slides, the technical details will be taken up by engineer Bhanu Marwaha in the session at 3 o'clock, right? So the formulas which the companies are using to calculate these all values, because we have the provision of data availability. From that data, we are going to analyze certain things and move into the area, right? So in this particular slide, you can see renewable makes best sense with electrical vehicles. From the previous slide, we are trying to come up to the thing that if we make use of wind or solar energy, wherever it is available, it will be always better. My connection is again unstable. Wo chal raha system? Am I audible? Hope I'm not disconnected. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With the oil, you can see 54.1 energy in kilowatt hour, 39.1 if it is hydrogen, 16.3 if it is renewable, that is wind and solar, and 40.8 if it is coal, right? So we are moving from raw material, fuel, and then movement of the car when we are driving it. How much cost we are incurring when we are making use of different kind of fuels, right? Then we have EV geopolitics. It is also very important. It is also a catalyst which is required, or which is acting as a catalyst, so that the more research can be carried out in this particular area. So China has a domination. They want we all are reading the newspapers every day that it is capturing or trying to build a road, to get the material, cobalt, lithium from different countries to its own country, where it will be having industry to manufacture the batteries, and then it will be selling that raw material. It will be procuring from other countries, then developing it into batteries and so on, and then selling it. So the selling cost will be very, very high. And in all the graphs, you can see that China has captured major part of everything. Lithium 51%, cobalt chemical supply 62%, spherical graphite supply 100%. It is focusing on collecting the raw material and then making use of that raw material to develop the final product and selling it to the entire world. Just like the petroleum countries were doing earlier, China will become the battery generator, cell generator company, point at one point of time, and it will be selling batteries and chargers to the entire world at its own cost, wherever it is feeling like that I have to sell it at this particular cost, and other countries will be dependent on it if we will not go, or we will not indulge into the research for electrical panels, solar panels, batteries, chargers, etc. China will be dominating on it. So America pioneered in IC engine revolution. So China wants to be pioneer in electrical vehicle revolution. I have already explained how it is doing it. It is capturing the raw material through road or anything, and then trying to make a battery out of it, or cell out of it, charger out of it, and just selling it into the entire world. Biggest market is again China for cars. Raw material from Australia it is picking up. EV grade lithium processing is done in China, sells to US at Tesla factory, and then again it is loop which is it is completing. The target is to become a pioneer in the field of electrical vehicle revolution, and if we will not work on these areas, we'll be lagging behind. See, from Australia it is taking up material, then developing it, sending it to Tesla, then again its biggest own Chinese market, and it will become the leader in this area also. Is it a coincidence? America does not want production to go out of it, even at the cost of additional freight, right? Additional charges which it is paying. Chile come out of bankruptcy, where there are abundant raw material reserves of lithium and battery, and definitely it is going to give the control of all these things to China. China controls no more than 90% of the raw material reserves outside China. So it will be bringing that 90% of the raw material to its own country, and then it will be making use of the raw material to develop the final product. Oil companies like Shell, Saudi Aramco, acquiring and funding electrical vehicle companies, advancements and uses of cobalt in either batteries or 5G technology. Without the 5G technology, the ultimate intelligent electrical vehicle will not be possible. And 5G technology is already moving ahead with a fast frequency and fast pace. And these electrical vehicles will be totally automized with the help of this 5G and the batteries, advancement in the technology of batteries. Does India will again face cell import expenses similar to oil import? This is what I was talking about. We'll have to then bear the charges of, or the cost of buying the battery and cells from other countries, just like we are today buying petrol, and it is increasing at its own pace, at its own rate. If Indian auto industry ecosystem does not shift to electrical vehicle ecosystem efficiently, we won't be able to save ourselves from the increasing prices and all those things, and we will be in a tough situation to import fuels from other countries, and that is fuel, that is battery. India, its geographical location is very good for solar energy, so we should try to work on the projects which should help to promote the utilization of solar energy and the electrical vehicles, and the sync between both of them. India is a tropical country, and it is very different from other countries. We need to support a lot to our local industry. Cell imports versus oil import analysis I'm going to show you. So in India, we have certain issues related to the fuels, related to the raw materials, related to the vibrations of the vehicles. This road I have shown you just to show you that we need to have a high vibration free vehicles. Indian roads have very high vibrations due to so many things. This is one example I've shown you. Indian temperatures are at extreme, requiring very good battery technology. So cell import versus oil import will be like this. We all witnessed this particular ad. Kitna deti hai? That kind of. Everybody will be, before buying, everybody will be asking for कितना चलेगा सेल, कितना kilometers देगा. That kind of thing we need to keep in mind, specifically when we are talking about our country, India. So it has to be cost effective. Running cost should be very less. It should be affordable, right? Indian market is similar to Western market or not? There's a great big difference. So you can see, this is US traffic and this is Indian traffic. There are lot many things about our country which we need to think about. There are different kind of vehicles which are moving on road, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, size of the roads is different, traffic rule following is different. So we need to think about all these practical aspects as well before going into any research and development, or before using any developed product also. So Indian auto scenario versus Western auto scenario, we need to keep in mind.
मतलब फिर कहाँ बारिश कम हो जाएगी.
India has dominance 98% for affordable and public vehicles rather than for luxury vehicles. That is why anybody who's going to buy a vehicle, they always start how many of us are having how many of us are having 30 lakh rupees car? No. What is our priority when we go to buy a car? Our priority is the cost effectiveness, better performance. It should give me a comfort to go from one place to another. There should be easy in parking. Repair and maintenance should be very less. Service cost we need to keep in mind. Availability of repair and maintenance should be nearby. For example, Maruti advertises itself very commonly that we have every 10 kilometers we have our service stations or people who are trained in this technology to repair for. So there are so many factors which are affecting our purchase of the vehicle. Right, it is not only the comfort, vibration free, facility of internet, facility of automatic features in the vehicle. It is the other way around. There are so many other things which the potential customers looking for, and Tesla, of course, here it will not work for everyone in the country. We need to solve our problem in an indigenized way. So we need to have our own affordable Tesla. For that, we need to work for. Does that mean opportunity? Am I connected? Am I connected? Okay. Does that mean opportunity for startups and local industry? In today's morning session, Dr. Manna has already discussed that there is a great potential of research, startups, and your own small scale industry or parts manufacturing industry you can set up, and there are a lot of provisions by the government to do so. Frost and Sullivan analysis, India doesn't have good manufacturing capabilities but has very large number of talent, right? Though we cannot compete with China for manufacturing and setup of industries like US, but we have a great potential in our youth who can develop 1,000 lakh line codes to control these vehicles, or to design the automation of these vehicles. We have a potential for this. So the market size of EV component industry, that is electrical vehicle value, China and India, is expected to reach $4.8 billion in 2025. So now if we will put in efforts, we'll be at one point of time, we'll be just witnessing the change we have witnessed from landline to the mobile phones, and we'll be able to charge our electrical vehicle just like we charge our mobile phones, right? So the key trends is 1/3 of the EV motor market will emerge from demand in EV buses in India in 2025. As I told you, heavy vehicles are also, under analysis, or people are designing, try to do research so that electrical vehicle technology can be incorporated in buses and other big trucks, etc. 67% will be the passenger car segment share in battery market. 15.6 million kilowatt hour will be the total demand of lithium ion battery packs in 2025. 61% will be the total two-wheeler vehicle segment share in the power electronics market. So, wherever in the morning session, somebody told that they have designed an electrical rickshaw. So electrical rickshaw to a bigger truck, you can start, your work on that, and hope our FDP will be able to contribute to it. Hope we'll be able to motivate you to do research in this area. Frost, this analysis we have done, batteries, power electronic, thermal management, and battery management system to offer significant opportunities to localize and establish comprehensive supplier ecosystem in India by 2025. Indian government and India is trying to focus upon this, providing subsidies and so many other opportunities through entrepreneurship and Atmanirbhar Bharat, through Atmanirbhar Bharat and other AICT, DST programs, which are METI programs through which this technology research is being promoted. Software and electronic solutions are scalable and have the capability to put India into the forefront. Our Indian engineers, the youth mind, can develop softwares for handling the movement of these vehicles, the repair and maintenance, charging, updates of these vehicles. India can be a pioneer in software part in electrical vehicles due to good software talent which our country is having. Software requirement in electrical vehicles क्या है? 100 million lines of code per vehicle बनेगा आज, which will be crossing 200 to 300 million lines of code are expected, right? Approximately $10 per line of the code. Example, Navi system 20 million lines of code are there, which will be more than even the Google, right? So level 5 autonomous driving will take up to 1 billion lines of code. Means these kind of codes we need to develop. I mean, some of you must be thinking, what does this code will be telling? When to charge, how to charge, where is the traffic, where the traffic is not, how to make use of the vehicle, finding its faults, when does it require a repair and maintenance. All those kind of things will be through controlled by software, and a single update for 2-3 minutes will update your vehicle. Then there is a very hot topic in the industry, that is urban mining. Now, what is this urban mining? Urban mining is when you are started using vehicle. You see, every one of us are having the inverters at home. I think everyone is having inverter at home. We are having inverters at our home. What we are doing with those batteries when they are not giving us enough light? What do? We replace it.
We will
right?
just replace it and take a new one.
Yes, we take a new one. What do they do with the replaced battery? They give us some concession when we give them battery back in the new purchase.
Yes, madam.
What do they do with that battery? What do they do with that battery?
They will just extract the cathode and anode.
Yes, the most important part, heart of battery is cathode, and they just pick it up because it is not damaged. It is a material. Uska kuch nahi hua hai. It can be reused. So urban mining is when everybody will start using electrical vehicles, we need to mine these batteries back to the industry, right? So we need not to throw them. These batteries will be taken up, then the material will be taken out, and refurbishing of these batteries will be done. We can develop new batteries from them. We can repair and maintain them. So this is called urban mining. It is no more coal mining. It is no more digging the well for a petrol. It will be urban mining. City में से निकालना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. So जहां पे भी ये electrical vehicles होंगे, we need to focus upon this also, right? So again, I'm telling you that we'll be witnessing a great change, just like we have witnessed it from landline to mobile. Pager बीच में आया था, but for a very small pulsative time. So urban mining will be very quick. So every household will be replacing the batteries in the electrical vehicles. They will be charging it to some extent, just like the way we refill our cartridge in the printers. So then they will be replacing it. So urban mining, we need to do it. So that will help us in 2 ways. Polluting hoga environment, and reuse and refurbish hum kar payenge. That is urban mining. Ye bhi keyword hai. Today I have told you few keywords in this particular session. Now it has got a huge opportunity. Lithium ion battery, today we make use of lithium, cobalt, manganese, nickel, graphite, etc. India does not have much of the mines of any of these. Import bill skyrocket ho jayega if we will have to buy the batteries and cells, right? So, but we have sun with us. We are blessed that we are at such a we are located at such a place where sun showers its blessings, and we can have solar energy for this particular purpose. Then we can say that this is showing that though we do not have mines for any of these materials, but we can recycle the batteries which we are making use of. This is the urban mining. So people can land up into this kind of business also. 90% of the lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, and graphite are recoverable. Means cathode can be recovered from them, and that is material can be recovered from them and can be reused. It needs large number of recycling plants with zero effluent. These batteries can be reused in solar, wind, or energy storage systems. Means apne solar plant rooftop pe lagaya, you can make use of the similar battery there as well. So ESS applications, after exhausting it in automobile application, you can use it in some other application, right? So this is a circular economy. Vehicle में use की battery, घर में use कर ली, कुछ cost reduce करके replace करवा ली, industry को दे दी. These kind of circular things which we can do for lithium ion batteries or batteries made up of cobalt, etc. गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स क्या है इसके बारे में? Government Electrical Vehicle Schemes is NEMMP 2020, National Mission providing vision and roadmap for faster EV adoption and manufacturing. Target is 6 to 7 million electrical vehicles or hybrid by 2020, which results in total liquid fuel saving of 2.2 to 2.5 million. Right? EV at the rate 30 campaign by CEM, Clean Energy Ministerial. Campaign set. Sorry, because of some internet issues, I was disconnected. So, Clean Energy Ministerial campaign sets a goal of achieving 30% new EV sales by 2030 in member countries. FAME India Phase 2 incentive outlay of rupees 100 billion until 2022. Incentives of EV purchases and also charging infrastructure. Goal of 1 charging station every 3 kilometers by 3 kilometer grid, 3 by 3. I mean, within the framework of 5 kilometers, you will be having charging stations. They will be requiring very less space. Then fast adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electrical vehicles, FAME India Phase 1. This was the Phase 1. Our Union Budget 2019, tax deductions on loans to purchase EVs. Already we know that there is a good amount of subsidy provided on rooftop plants. It reduces EV GST from 12% to 5%. कम हो गई है. Government is already supporting this. How is the support from government side or startups? Government startup schemes. Huge opportunity to leverage government schemes on startup and EVs. A 3-year tax break. You need not to pay any kind of tax if you set up your small scale industry or startup. Other benefits by registration at Startup India. If you register through Startup India. Opportunity to partner with various CSR social projects. Various startup seed funds for prototyping R&D. METI provides 44 lakh rupees grant in aid to 8 startup of SR Innovation Exchange. Education, healthcare, agriculture got bulk of $2.6 billion impact investment in 2020. Cabinet to approve PLI schemes for electronics, medical services, etc. PM of our country announced rupees 1,000 crores startup for seed funds. A pro will run government's 120 crore seed fund in this particular area. UP government sanctioned rupees 209 crore from free distribution of e-rickshaw across the country, across the city, sorry. So there are so many efforts which are being brought by our Indian government, because the government also want that we should not be under pressure to buy batteries and cells from other countries, just like the petrol. So we need to work upon these technologies, and we need to try to utilize these facilities for our purpose. So the conclusion is this: a very good talent mix required to push the adoption and address the challenges of this new technology. So I have given you an open-ended challenges and the availability of the areas of work through this particular talk. If you are a mechanical engineer, you can do in for the designing of that. If you are an electrical engineer, you can contribute to the vehicles. If you are a software engineer, you can contribute to the development of the big programs to make it more automized. And if you are an electronic person, you can design electronic controllers, etc. for these kind of vehicles. There is an opportunity for all kind of technical persons to contribute in this area, and there are many government schemes which are available, which you can make use of to do research, to put your contribution into the development of our nation. Thank you so much. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. This is the statement of Albert Einstein, and this should be the beginning of all the problems I have enlisted in my slides. We can try to think about the solutions to make use of these challenges for making an opportunities for ourselves. So thank you so much. Any queries regarding this session? So these two introductory talks has initiated something in your mind, and we'll be having with us engineer Bhanu Marwaha and Shashank from the upcoming for the upcoming sessions. They'll be sharing the real-time industrial developments and works which are being done in the industry through this particular FDP. Anybody wants to discuss something? You can do it. The platform is open for discussion. We have Bhanu with us. He can solve some of our issues or problems. He can help us.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gagan. So that concludes our second expert lecture. We will be meeting now at 3 p.m. Okay, thank you very much.